Julian. I'm so excited to do your soul rebirth journey today. So we're just keeping it open, and then we're just gonna do that which would serve your purpose most right now, as you put it. Okay, so I'm just gonna relax here and we'll get started. So I'm entering into I'm getting taken down. It's very heavy right now. It's sort of like the elevator going downwards, and then it's sort of like the elevator is opening up to what is a massive rock-like energy, and then I'm just sort of knocking on it, and it kind of reminds me of, I don't know what these little awesome chocolates are, but they come like in a golden wrapper, and like I get them every Christmas, and then there's an awesome shell, and then there's a chocolatey shell, and then there's like a chocolatey nougat, and then there's like an almond or something inside. It's sort of like, it reminds me of it, the texture of it reminds me of something delicious, like some yummy chocolate, but it's harder than that. I'm just examining right now. Because it's sort of like bulging into my elevator space. And I want to get off the elevator. I actually want to get out of here, but I can't get out of here because there's a massive, like, awesome chocolate type of coating shell that is like bulging into my elevator space. It's just rounding into there, and I'm not strong enough to get through it, so to speak. I can't break this down, and so I can't get out. And I'm stuck in an elevator waiting to get off the elevator. This is also a message for you too, because the more I try to get off this elevator and get out here, the more this thing becomes more solid and more difficult to get it to break down, get it to soften up, get it to disappear. I'm getting angry and frustrated about this. I want to light this stinking thing on fire. I don't get the right to actually just gnaw my way through it. No, I don't, because I can't stop thinking about chocolate when I look at it. But I don't get to like grow massive teeth to eat my way through this, like deliciously enjoy this blockage here. That's not what I get to do, unfortunately. I actually have to, play out the scene. And the scene wants to burn this thing. I mean, this thing, it wants to take out like a crazy sharp daggery knife and then stab it to death. It's really angry at it. It kind of gives off the effect of, it has like heartfelt energy. It just wants to jam it into the heart, the center of this thing. It just wants to destroy it, rip it apart. There's like Wolverine, claw, like I'm becoming Wolverine, and I'm just gonna slash my way through this. It's now turning into what is a child that is having a terrible dream and then shaking and then trying to wake up, and then I thought I was like trapped in an elevator. I couldn't get out, and it was getting stifling in there, and there was no way out, and it was just a dream. Whew. But I still feel really connected to something. I still feel really kind of attached to something that is bigger than myself. It's coming into my life in a way that I can't get out of it. I don't have the tools or the means to destroy this thing, so I'm having to just basically deal with a giant boulder in my doorway. Again, this is your perspective. This is what you're experiencing. It's not healthy to get angry at the blockages. It's not healthy to take giant knives and then try to cut the blockages to pieces, because the blockages are us. Believe it or not, they are us, so they are our heart and soul. The blockages are us. They're the part of us that we're fighting with. And so why are you fighting with this part of yourself? This part of yourself that looks like a very delicious piece of chocolate to me, but to your consciousness it's a pain in your ass. Like, gotta get this thing out of here. when you take a very long sword, we're still, even as this, what is like a 5-year-old child that is sort of blinking and coming into reality that it was all just a dream, it still feels kind of connected to it. And then I see what is a version of your consciousness has a very long, very extremely long sword, and then it's trying to slice it. And when it slices into this piece of chocolate, it actually has red, like it can bleed, and it looks like tuna, like raw tuna, like sushi grade tuna, because it has like a red kind of color to it, but it doesn't actually get like release any bloody juices, but it gives off the effect as though it is hurting inside. And then it's like it's cutting into the heart of something, but the heart never bleeds. It just looks like, again, something I really find delicious. I love sushi. I love sushi, and so tuna grade sushi is really delicious to me. So what are we fighting with here? How come it looks yummy to me, but your consciousness insists that it is a bad thing? I feel like there's something good to this. I mean, I feel like there is a positive way forward here, and we need to look at all the angles. Your spiritual atmosphere is just wanting to talk, tell me so many things. Because we're having a conversation about why, it looks delicious to me. And so I'm continuing to analyze what this is about, as the elevator wants to is sort of like wobbling and wants to actually crash. Like go straight down as fast as it can go and then just crash. But the thing is, the elevator is also stuck on this object, so the elevator can't go anywhere. It can't go up or down, and we're totally just completely and utterly stuck. I'm just going to manifest myself in here with this consciousness, instead of being sort of like a third-party observer way over here that's just sort of binging in ideas into your consciousness head. And your consciousness is like, la 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 la, I don't hear you. I don't see it as chocolate and sushi. I see it as an annoying like boulder. So I'm actually going to manifest myself here into the space so we can actually look at this together, and you can stop ignoring me as we're gonna get through this blockage here. I don't even know what this blockage is associated with as far as your energy portals, but it has to do with your journey and pathway forward. We got to get this boulder out of the way so you can actually get free flow. Free flow up, down, front, you can get off the elevator here, you can go wherever you want to go. So what is in the way? It feels so disconnected from emotions and thought even, which is very unusual because it's usually our emotions and our thoughts that are getting us in the way. But why does it keep remind me of a heart? Is your heart in the way of something? I'm just going to be quiet for a moment here. I say, Julian, let's hold hands, and we're going to use the power of our souls and our visionary skills and our love energy, and we're going to put one of each of our hands. Sorry, we're holding the hands right now, and I'm putting one hand on the thing, and you are putting one hand on the thing, and then we're just accepting it. We're just accepting it as it is. Whatever this is, we just accept it as it is. Because this thing is you. It actually is you. So you need to accept this part of yourself. And once you accept this part of yourself, it stops becoming like an eyesore or a challenge or a pain in your ass, or it's in the elevator shaft way of getting on with your life. So we just kind of accept that part of yourself, and then it starts to quiet its voice. It stops to scream and it stops screaming and shouting, and it just gets smaller and smaller, and then it just disappears. The problem is now is, where are you going to go? If you have no blockage in the way, now we start to get to the root of the next conundrum. If you have nothing in the way, you have every which way to go. And so which way are you going to go? What is your next step? What is the direction you're going to take. Sometimes we put blocks in the way because we wouldn't have a clue what to do with ourselves if that block wasn't there. Because now we actually have no excuses. I don't necessarily think you have any excuses, but this is actually a little bit perplexing here to the consciousness. Now that we've accepted the self now is at peace, and now we have every direction you can take. I mean, this is a special elevator. It can even go in diagonals. It can go in circles even. If you want, it can spin in place. It can actually just be you. The elevator can actually form into you. So now we understand the elevator too is you. This whole thing is about you. Working with all the parts of yourself, working in balance with all the parts of yourself. Because truly, it's an illusion thinking that we are actually going somewhere in life. Life actually comes to us and then takes us places. So really you can stand still and then just allow life to take you wherever you want to go. It's very interesting thing. It's the consciousness that moves us forward. It's not our feet. It's our conscious choices that move us forward. It's then the soul. So your soul is, everything kind of evaporated, and your soul is just sort of in a void space. It's got kind of a creamy color to it. It's not black, it's not white. It's got like a creamy color to it, and we're just kind of, it's like a blah. So like blah is just sort of like here. It's like a desert sand, but the sands turn into like a color, and it's just painted on the walls and ceiling and the floor. So it's just like an infinite space that looks like a blah color. It's like a brownie, like a really, I don't know, like it's like a creamy color, I guess. There's something sadder happening now. We're starting to feel more. Like, I mean, really actually a sad feeling right now. And an emptiness. And the blah color is starting to transition into what is kind of a hollow, empty room. And it's a black color. It's just a hollow, empty room. It's interesting because, again, some motivation inside of me is saying, you know, black is a color, just like white is a color. Like, just because it doesn't have to be empty, because there is color here, even if it is black, you know. But black doesn't help us see anything. It just helps cover things up, right? So a lot of it's very natural for a human being to feel like a black empty room is like the worst case scenario. But I don't know what it is, like my positive self, like eat that blockage right now. It's sushi grade tuna. It's chocolate. Like, I don't know what this inspiration is. It's like you have a little positive voice that's motivating you, but you need to actually take a stopper and let the positive voice lead the way. Because the positive voice says you are good enough. And now that side of yourself can get smaller and smaller and merge back into you. Now you can be the elevator. Now you have control of your life. And now we're starting to feel more of the emotional. There's some more emotional sadness going on here. And now emotional sadness is showing me what is like an empty room that is black. And so a little positive voice is like, but no, positive. But you're not feeling positive right now, so it doesn't really hear me. I'm kind of, again, the distant third-party observer. But we are getting deeper and deeper and deeper into your core. little positive voice says, I don't know how to help Julian. I just don't know. I feel like I've got a lot of good ideas, but then they never get heard. And now I feel really sad. Positive voice doesn't feel sad. Positive voice isn't supposed to feel sad. Oh no. Oh no. Positive voice is starting to now feel like Julian. And when Julian is sad, everything is starting to get gloomier. When there's no positive voice left, what is there? There's emptiness. That is how we kill positive voice. We just choose to stop listening to it, and then it goes away. And then we start to hear what we want to hear, which is about the big emptiness. Because now this is the only thing that is real, and this is all I want to know about. Myself and the big emptiness. Positive voice can never die, and it is a little sparkle that says I will not give up. The big emptiness is not who you are. And you can tell yourself that each and every day, all day long. But that is you telling yourself a lie. Why do you want to listen to your own lies? Why do you feel like the lies are your true identity? When will you discover, Julian, that you are full of light and you are bright, and it is a beautiful world full of treasures, and you are one of these treasures, and it is time now for you to start treasuring yourself. When you treasure yourself, you grow, you welcome in opportunities, and now the world, the universe, life, it takes you places. That is what you are truly wanting deep down inside of your heart. Deep down inside of your heart, you are wanting to go places. Places that are enlightening, spiritually satisfying, that hunger to know and to grow. So you have to choose. And even if you choose the big emptiness, I will still not give up on you, and I will continue to encourage you to see what a treasure you are. This is vulnerable, because there's a stubborn side of yourself that it definitely gets it. It definitely is hearing this message. But it just isn't choosing to work with that yet, with that spark of the truth about you. Why is it the truth about us is always speak in our worlds, but the illusion, the lies about ourselves are so out of proportion, so out of control? And that makes us feel comfortable. It comforts us to feel surrounded by a negative truth about ourselves. Maybe the negative truth is what encourages us not to become better than this. Because if we really are that bad, then we don't have to sustain the idea that we really aren't that bad. And if we really aren't that bad, then what is it that we are capable of? And now, shoot, I might actually have to live up to those expectations or those standards. Perhaps it's easier to stay kind of down there. That way I don't have to live up to any expectations of, I don't have to do anything differently. I don't have to become better than this. I can actually become worse than this if I want to. But becoming better than this is going to take effort, and it's going to take trying. It's going to take work. You are seriously caught in a pickle here, and it's about development and growth and how far you can go when you start acknowledging the truth about yourself, and it's not that hard. When you discover you're as delicious as my favorite chocolates at Christmas time, when you are my favorite food, sushi, the sushi grade tuna, like, you're awesome. You're awesome. You see? You see? You need to do that. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm sushi grade tuna. I am the awesomest chocolate mankind has ever made. I'm yummy. There's something about this. You got to change the perspective. You got to let the truth in, and then you got to let that truth shine, right? And then you got to just feel good about yourself, and the next thing that comes into your life, they're opportunities. The people, places, they're opportunities. That parking ticket you just got, an opportunity. This stuff is just life stuff, but there are no coincidences. They're all opportunities, and they're all a blessing, and they're all positive. So whatever else is out there, can't hear it, don't know what that is. Anything that's like the big emptiness, we gotta get that one off of here, like get that off the table here. Like, the only thing that is real is the littlest bright spark and the truth of how truly awesome you are. So let's see. It's like really a hollow drum. It's like a really low, like bass voice, like taking it on down, really low. Then they're so low you can't even hear it. And that's where we're going. It's like turning the volume down, so now the sound is turned off. It's going so low that you can't even hear it, so it becomes invisible. It becomes, again, the big emptiness. The big emptiness insists that the big emptiness is the truth. The big emptiness is what is real. The big emptiness is all there ever is, was, or ever will be. Again, all of my delightfulness is completely non-existent at all. I mean, it just kind of gets vaporized in the big emptiness. The big emptiness is really big. I mean, it shows itself to me as a huge boulder in the way, obviously, of the elevator that can go in any direction, which is you. The boulder also is you. Everything about this is you. The big emptiness is also a big empty room covered in black. So you can't see anything. It's a big empty room. The big emptiness is also what is like a hollow drum, but it's like such a low noise, nobody can celebrate it or hear it or experience it. So now it's an empty sound, it's an empty drum. I mean, it's really sad. And then the big emptiness is basically what is like a giant pot of gold that has no gold in it. So it's the big emptiness as well. There's zero value inside of this pot. The drum plays, but nobody can hear it. The elevator door opens, but you cannot get off the elevator. Again, the big emptiness is you. There's a tiny little spark, though, that is trying to get you to listen, and it is like a bee buzzing in your face. But you won't listen to it for some reason. This is a big deal because I gotta put a stop to this. So that way the frequencies of the truth can actually absorb into your sponge and you can start being who and what you are. We're kind of pulling back a little bit and getting another observation of your total identity, there's like it's like a wooden cabinet that's sort of like lots of random pieces of wood that are just kind of nailed together, so it's really awkward, but it's built around you, and it's not really like if you want to go buy yourself like a kitchen cabinet, you want it to have like sanded wood that's actually stained a pretty color. You can actually find the handle and then open and close it. It looks like a just totally jacked up, constructed, total nightmare built around you. Like, oh, here's a little piece of wood. I'm just gonna hammer this here. Oh, here's a really long, awkward, shaved off, weird piece of wood. I'm just gonna hammer it on top of that one. And then, oh, here's like another piece of wood, and I'm just gonna make that the side of the cabinet. And then it's like a completely like confused, jacked up cabinet that's surrounded. You're storing yourself inside of. Like, this thing needs to get. This thing isn't. This is not gonna work. No. It's sad. It's so sad. I'm getting sad inside. My gut. The realness of it all. It's too real. This is your treasure chest. This is where you keep your treasure. You are the treasure, and you are nothing. Your treasure chest is like a demented storage cabinet with a bit of black smog on the inside of it. Treasure chest should be like an ornate gift box, you know? And then anybody who finds the X marks the spot is going to be freaking out just looking at the treasure chest itself. And then what is inside is going to just freak them out that much more, because that is the true treasure. Who you are on the inside is the true treasure. But something about this box is also giving you a clue as to how you feel about yourself as well, because it's not put together. It's not complete in a way that makes it useful. It's not functional. It's not desirable. It's ugly. It's screwed up. It's messed up. It's a piece of junk. It should be kicked in. It should be broken down. It should be tossed away. It's not even worth using as firewood. Piece of shit. That is what is going on in here in your spiritual atmosphere. That's the big emptiness. But that's you. That's you inside this core. None of this is who you are at all. None of this is. Little Spark, though, is getting very, very tired of trying to remind you. Did you want Little Spark to go away completely? Did you want me to actually take Little Spark away from you so that way you can actually live in your truth? Because I can do something here to do that. Because if you're not choosing to listen to her, what's the point in having her? It's like a little fairy. She's awesome. It's like a little positive, happy little sprite. That's what she's like. She's like, she's big, but she's a lot bigger than that. But you won't listen to her. She now feels sad, and she goes into a corner where there's a log. It's sort of like a forest that has no trees. It's again like a blah space, but there's a log that she sits down on. It's like a fairy size, but it's like a human size too. It's adorable little log. It's awesome. If I had like a little miniature dollhouse with a tiny little perfect little log for a little fairy, that would be so cute. I don't know what it is, but she's so cute. She is. She's got the most precious little tears. They're like little gems. I'm so sad. Oh. oddest sadness I've ever felt in my life. Because it should come with so many tears, but no tears come out. It's just like a shocking, sad thing, you know? It's so shocking that there's just no tears. And she's so cute and she's sad though. It's sort of like the cutest thing in the world is sad. Like it's like not right. Because even when she's sad, she's adorable. It's like you're just so cute. She says, "You like me? You do? What good is it if Julian doesn't like me? I'm here to help Julian." She stands up and starts stepping, actually walking. Her wings are down, her head is down, and she is walking away. She kind of reminds me of like the movie Fern Gully, and there's the little fairy that's kind of the main character, right? She kind of reminds me of her. The way she looks, really big eyes, and just kind of Fern Gully hair, and cute little outfit, just adorable little thing. She feels the big emptiness inside herself. She feels heavy, she feels distant from her own positive, sprite-like thoughts. She looks at you and she feels sad. She feels hopeless and at a loss. She wants you to let her inside your heart. As she can give your heart a kiss from the inside out. She's here to remind you of how it's like the adorable side of yourself. It's the most insatiable side of yourself, like you have one. I mean, it's like the most precious side of yourself. Like she is a reflection of what is so adorable I could squeal. She's too cute for words. She is so amazingly sweet and tender. She is like I'm freaking out just what I don't even know how to speak because she's just so awesome, cute and small, tiny, adorable. That's also a part of you too. The part of you that is just little big, and we rather have the big emptiness. You gotta get in touch with yourself. Big emptiness is starting to hear this. I mean, there is like the drum is starting to become like the whole emotional gut region is starting to get like there's like a beat, like a rapidly beating heart, but it's like a drum beat that's really low, but I'm starting to hear the sounds and it's like pulsating down there. Wow, it's starting to breathe. And it's actually starting to breathe. It's starting to let light in. It's starting to let air in. It's starting to let positive frequencies in. It's awesome. And it's fast when it happens. It's like totally fast. I'm in it. I'm in the groove right now. I'm feeling it. It's moving and it's going fast. It's starting to rush. It's starting to rush through and break apart junk. Starting to feel really freaking good. You just let it go. Like there's something about her now manifesting into your consciousness in a bigger way, and then helping you let go and get out of this because it's suffocating you. it's really heavy. It's suffocating you, like it's a pillow on your whole face and you can't breathe. But it's the whole body that's in like this massive like glove. So you know, like people who box, the glove, you are inside the boxer glove and it is choking the living daylights out of you. That's the big emptiness, and that's its hold on you. So we're ungripping it and getting you out. Because you are choosing to let the light in. Because you are choosing to say, I'm ready now to let go of the big emptiness, and now bam, it has no power. I mean, it's amazing how fast it happens when you choose to just devote your intentions, your daily affirmations, because we make daily affirmations, don't even realize it. And because we're constantly saying negative stuff, and if we aren't speaking it in a language out loud or in our heads, we're saying it through just the way that we feel inside, and then we hold on to those emotions all day long and we just sort of swim in them, right? And so this is just, I'm going to devote it, I'm going to make a conscious devotion here to taking notice of the negative. I'm going to transform into the positive, and I'm going to just keep filling myself with the positive truth and just letting go of the negative stuff. And just keep breathing and letting in the good. Letting in the light. Letting in the adorable little, beautiful little, cute little fairy. She's powerful. She is powerful. It's sort of like the amazing way that a kitten can just take away an entire day of stress and sadness because they're so freaking cute and adorable, and they purr and they're soft and they're cute and adorable, and they purr and they're soft and they're cute and adorable. And now we understand your fairy is very much so like this. She is like, take baby kitten and then multiply that by 1 trillion. Like, she is so like shockingly cute that the whole world feels like it's gonna crack and break apart and melt and just disappear, like from the cuteness. Like, we don't even know what to do right now because we're freaking out from the cuteness. And it's like adorableness. And it's starting to, again, like the drums, like we're starting to feel more of the letting go of the grip of the glove and getting yourself out of the suffocation of the big emptiness. And again, we're starting to separate you two. Big emptiness seems to go way over there, and then we're just getting you closer and closer to the truth about yourself. So you can get the air in, breathe it in, down deep, get it down deep inside of you. There is some manifestation of wings that are being put on your backside. There's sort of a dizzy spell that's very positive though too. It's sort of like you're seeing stars because you're kind of like, you got a bump on the noggin with the adorableness, and you're just like coming to reality, and it's like the cold water just got poured on your head, and it's like, wow, what was I thinking with the big emptiness? I'm like, whoa, yeah, the light, the cuteness. I'm starting to get closer and closer to the truth about myself and letting go of what isn't the truth. Feeling better and better and better. Another new thing that is like it comes with a startling shock sort of reaction to it. It is very weird what it looks like. But it's just below the belly button, or it's right around that region. I just see what it looks like, a tampon being put in that place, and then scissors just cutting the string of a tampon. I don't know, but we'll find out what this means. It's very awkward, it's weird, and it's uncomfortable, and it's in my gut. That is what this means. then what is like the scissors is trying to be interactive with it. I don't know if is this some sort of solution to it, but nothing is working. And it's a very, very terrible, gross feeling. It feels absolutely gross in the gut region, and it's disgusting in the feeling of pulling it out. I mean, it's like pulling it out that makes me want to puke. There's like a disgusting green goo. I feel like there's like a repulsive, like you know the Aliens movie, and the alien baby eggs are just like kind of like when they open, they're all slimy and gross, and they're just kind of climbing out of like slime and grossness. But it's green and it's oozy and it's disgusting and it's in your gut. You feel gross inside. You feel disgusting. You feel weird. It's not right. That type of feeling in the gut region. How do you get it out? It feels like it's attached to you forever. We're talking about some heavy duty energy stuff going on here. I'm focusing on transforming this feeling in the process. You're basically hanging, you've got a really long blue sweater. You're wearing a dark blue sweater with really long sleeves that are tied to a pole. So you're just hanging on the pole, but not by your hands, by your sweater sleeves. You're just hanging there, and then half of your body is cut off at the hips, and it's just all these sort of like intestines and goop and stuff. It's just like barfing out of you. So we're talking about some heavy duty, like that's what the big emptiness does. Like and then it does that makes you feel gross inside. That's the next layer of clearing this out of you, because this is like I feel disgusting. Like I feel like I'm barfing out my insides while I'm hanging by a sweater. Like none of it's right. Again, it's just not right. But yet it's the conscious reality. It says this is my reality. It says this is my true identity. But why? Because where's little fairy in all of this? Where's the adorableness? It's the only thing that is real. But yet it's not what you're choosing to have as your identity. What has done this? What has manifested this barf feeling? Because it's not barfing out the throat. It's not like you're the sick of the flu. It is like, I'm going to cut my hips off and barf out my intestines. That's how gross it feels inside. Again, I'm getting hit with the saddest feeling of all time. So sad I can't even cry. But I can't even access what is truly the saddest part about all of this. It's so cut off from what is truly, I mean, this is sad, but I can't feel the sadness. That's even sadder about it. Because this should be like, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out for 10 years. That's what it's like. But the tears never come out. How do I put you back together again? Are you too, what is like, am I just supposed to nail your pieces together randomly until they create something akin to a kitchen cabinet? Or a storage cabinet? It just, I mean, I'm looking at your body strewn about now. It's just like, it's not about the sweater holding you up. You're just sort of like, you're like a dead person, just like sprawled, you know, or we could just put the chalk line around you, lifeless and gross. The question is, how, Julian, do we make the gross go away? what is attracting us to negativity so extreme that this is what is our truth now? Like negativity and an identity, true wisdom surrounding digesting wisdom that is making us feel this gross inside as our truth, right? So you gotta let the light in. You gotta start flipping the pancake from negative to positive every single time. Turn off any kind of horror movies or YouTube conspiracy theory garbage and reading creepy books and because I don't know what has manifested this. What has been going on in your life that is really bringing in the putridness? Because it's inside of you and it is also blocking you, but it is also you. It is your identity of yourself. It is how you're choosing to feel. And then you're using it to snuff out the true light that you are. Because if you are truly light, if you are truly beautiful, then that's sort of odd, like uncharted territory. If we truly are this beautiful, if we truly are this love, if we truly are all this, then everything we've known about the negativity and the true, like how hard are we on ourselves as human beings and on each other even. And we don't want to give anybody credit or even give them an inch sometimes. And we need to just give souls more credit and give our own soul way more credit than we do. And we got to get you lifted up and out of this. But again, I can't force you to listen to the bright spark. I can't force you to listen to the positive. Only you can say I'm ready now, right? So this part of the layer is still having to decide if it will say I'm ready now or not yet. Fern Gully, I see her and her world is starting to have trees in it. It just had a cut down log and now it's starting to have trees in it. They're kind of like fairy-sized trees. They look like full-sized earth trees, but they're fairy, but would be like a little trees for a fairy world. It's like so adorable. Like even when she gets serious, it's like she's just adorable. Like every time she does something, it's just like ridiculously adorable. I can't even tolerate it. She's just so adorable. And the little trees, they're just so cute. They're adorable trees in her little fairy world. It's adorable. She loves how much I love her. She loves how much I adore her. Being just like she is, being her natural self, being herself. I love her the most exactly as she is, and please don't ever change, because if you aren't that, I think the world will cry. Real tears. I don't want to know what would happen to this universe if that adorable fairy was not alive anymore. Like the universe, I think, would crack into a million pieces. We need this fairy, and we need the fairy to be exactly as she is. Do not change. Not for anybody, not for anything. Do not ever change, please. She says thank you. That gives me strength and confidence. And I think I will just continue to be exactly as I am. She says, I know that exactly as I am is also to be a little positive sprite for Julian. But it really is hard on me when Julian won't listen. It's really like, it's like cutting her in pieces. She is the sushi grade tuna. She is the heart. She is the delicious chocolate ball. And it's cutting her to pieces. It's shredding her to pieces, mangling her. She actually is a part of you. You are torturing yourself. It's painful. Again, the moment where this is so sad, but I can't cry. Because again, the odd consciousness sort of likes putting her on the chopping block. Because if you were to be her, so to speak, then now what? I know that seems crazy, because if we truly discovered how amazing we were and started living our lives like that, most of us would be like, yeah, well, if I was a perfect person, then I could just do whatever I wanted. No, you're supposed to take this seriously, because you are that awesome. You are as awesome as this fairy, and when you own that truth about yourself, now what? Like we're talking about taking this seriously and actually going into a daydream, and daydreaming and saying, okay, I'm going to pretend as though I really am this adorable little fairy, and I'm going to explore what that feels like and what I'm capable of if it is true that I really am this truly adorable. And what am I capable of? If I am truly this adorable, then what does that mean exactly? Okay, if I am truly this adorable, I could be this adorable. I could be that cute. The cute little trees and the log and the tears even were just like gems. They're just so cute. Her little face, the little wings, they're just so cute. Wow, I'm starting to feel cute. I'm starting to feel adorable. I'm starting to feel like I'm a part of the universe, and I'm like the cutest part of the universe. Gosh, I love me. I love me so much. It's literally like that right now. It's like, I'm freaking out. Yeah, that actually, it's doing its job. We're getting through another layer. Like, all this is crumbling off. You're like unburying yourself. You're like buried deep in the soils, and we're like pulling out a tree or like a little beautiful flower that grew backwards. So we're pulling you out of the ground. You grew backwards for a while and you were hanging out in the soil. So we too deep down inside. So we're just pulling you out of the ground now. Ah, that's better. That is a lot better. Oh my gosh, you feel better. Whew. Like, you have shoulders. You have arms. Like, you could dance. You could jazz hands. You could do anything you want. And the sun is shining. And it feels great. And it's shining down upon me. And it loves me. And the trees love me too. And Mother Earth loves me. And I am loved. I'm so, so loved. I am so loved. And I love me too. I love me too. I'm so happy I could cry. You feel incredibly better. Everything that was, we're just sort of like scrape the dirt off the table. Like, here we got you, and we're just like detaching you from whatever that was and bringing you over here where it's really bright and full of light, where you belong, because you're a bright spark. And you can be as little or as large as you choose to be, right? So choose to be bright, and then brighter, and then brighter, and then brighter, and then brighter, and then you're freaking blinding. But you're the type of blinding that is making us all see. For the first time in our lives, we are starting to see now, thanks to you, being the light in our dark worlds. Like, that is what you're capable of. When you start choosing to be yourself, and it has nothing to do with a negative, garbagey anything. You are the sushi grade tuna. You are the awesome chocolates at Christmas time. That's it, period. That's all we know. And you are freaking adorable. You gotta bring it on in. Just a pause here for a moment. You need to feel what is like a genuine, it's what is like a very tender, genuine, even sensual affection. Like you need to feel loved on an intimate level too, like and a soul to soul I get you level. I mean, you really need to be loved on a level that is truly like a physical touch that just fucking loves you. I mean, it says it just like that. I mean, you just need a love that just fucking loves you. But I'm talking about just it sees your worth and your value, is the brightest, most beautiful star in the sky, the most treasured gem that was lost and now is found, and now I behold you before me, and I am in awe of you. And you bring tears to my eyes because I love you that much. I am starstruck by you. You are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. That loves you. Is it your physical body that these eyes, this soul loves? Or is it your soul? Because this soul to soul connection is, I'm telling you, it's mind boggling. It's like a good atomic bomb. It's like the atomic bomb that heals the entire world with just one gaze of the eyes. And that type of love is, you're starving for it. You're starving for it to a degree that it is like, without it, it's sort of like you're growing in the wrong direction, and it's just ripping you apart. That's what it's like. This journey is definitely going to help you feel like you get it, and it's extremely important for you to start like it's your last dying breath. Get as much positive into you as you can right here, right now, every single day. Scramble for it, scrape for it. I'm trying more love. Just keep going for it, and just don't stop, and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back. But bring it on in. I mean, for you to get more, I mean, it's like your food, your sustenance is something so deep, is something so soul nurturing, is something so out of this world. It is so powerful. And you hunger for this because you know this is true. You know this is real. You need this in your life. A lot, I relate to what I'm seeing here. I relate to everything that we are exploring. This is a very good example of what a lot of souls are feeling, like the world is not transitioning into love fast enough. It is not raining down the healing. It is not raining down the treasures. It's not raining down the heaven into our lives in a way that we need in order to even sustain our balance, heart balance, emotional balance, all of that stuff. And I've discovered that the way to overcome it is to keep being yourself on this journey as much as you possibly can, and get yourself disconnected from a world that isn't self-realizing yet. I know that it is hard, but it also isn't hard, Because usually people like you, Julian, like me, like a lot of other souls that are into our spiritual neck of the woods, we're empathic people. We feel a lot of things. We might not always understand what it is we're feeling all the time. We're starving for a heaven-based world. We are natural psychics, but don't give ourselves credit because we are still coming from the old earth type mentalities that we haven't learned how to not use our logical mind with everything. And so it's just remembering how the power of our daydreams, remembering the power of our heart. Start working with our heart portals every day and asking the heart, I need you to give me a message today. And just close your eyes and let the heart speak to you. Your heart might tell you about anything. My heart might just tell you, praise you over and over and over again and tell you need to give yourself more credit. Your heart might say, I know what you're going through, and I'm going to create an identity that is going to come over here right now and give you an extremely long hug, and you'll just start bawling your eyes out. Your heart might say, some of the stress is coming from a certain thing you've been putting off, and it's time for you to now get this thing done. Your heart might say 1,000,001 things, but you won't know until you actually take the time to ask your heart what it has to say each and every day, and then you listen to the answer, and then you feel healed by the guidance. I'm telling you, it's powerful stuff. It's time for you to start owning up to how incredible you are, and start discovering your true potential, and start being heaven for this world. Start owning the heaven that you are, and start giving that version of heaven to all of us as a gift to all of us. That is what ascension is. That's what human awakening is. It is discovering that each and every soul is a unique version of heaven, and until we stop being afraid to shine our light and be ourselves and to accept the world the way that it is, we have to be the heaven that we want to see on this planet. We have to be the heaven that we are inside ourselves, and we need to just shine that light as bright as we can. And if it blinds people to the point they're freaked out by you, let them leave. But some people are going to be attracted to that light and wanting to heal with you, wanting to grow with you, and wanting to be bright as you are just as well. So this is what it's all about. And you've got to find a way to it's like you cannot go back to what I just saw there, okay? And so for me right now is trying to relate to you what this reminds me of, and how important it is to really bring in the heart messages every single day, them to really discover your powerful, beautiful, immaculate, infinite soul, and to start choosing to devote your life to figuring out how to be that each and every day, even as a job or responsibility or a gift that you're giving to the world that is actually going to sustain you in this world, so you can do it for a living too. It's really important because it's going to be your livelihood and your joy and your sustenance, and it's going to help prevent you from feeling like you're going to grow into the soil. Because somebody like you, somebody like me, a lot of people, we're growing backwards because we're still hanging on to old earth, when really the only way to grow beyond old earth is to let go of everything we've ever been taught and to start listening to our inner guidance, start working with our higher selves, and start doing the most random things. And it will bring joy into your life, it will bring healing into your life, it'll bring challenge into your life that will give you the sustenance to keep going, okay? This was a real connection though, this was a real thing. When Spirit was saying about that intimate touch, I mean, that is a real hunger that your body is longing for, a love that sounds like this, and it is powerful, affectionate, and it sees the real you, and it is healing you, it is helping you grow, it is teaching you, it is loving you for who you are, but it's an ancient energy. It comes from it's like a soulmate frequency that comes from ancient times kind of thing. That's also what you're hungering for inside of yourself. So all of this kit and caboodle is going on in your spiritual atmosphere, but good news is the boxer glove is dissolved. We've pulled you out of the soils, and you're back in the right direction, so to speak, and you're starting to let the light in, and you're you're starting to work with the truth about yourself, which is you're freaking adorable. And then shine your little light, but no, make it brighter and brighter and brighter, as big as you possibly can, and now share it with this world. So, Julian, you're awesome. It was kind of a interesting journey. You never know where they're going to take you, but I know this is going to really mean a lot to you. I'm so glad you explored this session with me, and thank you too for your willingness to share this openly with the world. That is so awesome. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in getting a soul rebirth journey with me, it's super healing and transformative, and it's going to help you see another side of yourself. It's very good for this ascension journey. It's very good for enlightenment and spiritual awakening and all that stuff. So please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching. Thank you again, Julian, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.